Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So you can see I have no makeup on, and that is because we're going to be talking about a foundation and a new concealer. So the foundation's been out for a little while, but I have yet to try it. But the concealer just came out. I actually got it about 2 weeks ago, but we were going out of town and I just never had a chance to film. I have worn it. So this isn't a complete first impression, but I am going to do a little bit of a wear test today. But I do have some thoughts already, and we'll talk about it. But it is from Haus Labs. It is the new Haus Labs concealer. It is called the Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating and Depuffing Concealer. It is $32. It comes in 31 shades. And then the foundation is called the Triclone Skin Tech Medium Coverage Foundation. It comes in 51 shades and is $45. Now, I did not purchase the large size. If you read the title, I purchased their new Discovery set. So you can see here, it's like this little Discovery set. I'm not going to show you my address, but it's a little Discovery set. This is what it comes like. And you can pick, you will get 3 shades, and all you have to do is pay for shipping and handling. And if you purchase the full size foundation at $45, then they don't charge you. However, if you don't purchase the full size foundation within 3 weeks, you will get charged $12. So this is what it looks like. I thought it would be a good, I looked online and I had seen people talk about it, but I hadn't seen anybody do the actual Discovery set. So I wanted to try it, and that's what we're going to do today. So you'll see here it is the Haus Labs Discovery set. It is the light medium, and we'll talk about the different shades because it wasn't exactly what I thought, but we'll talk about this and then we'll get into doing the concealer as well. Okay, so just a little bit about the foundation. It is a medium buildable coverage, high performance, weightless, clean foundation infused with our proprietary fermented arnica that helps reduce redness, helps even skin tone, and protects from environmental stress. Suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and acne prone skin, and Haus Tech powered with 20 plus skincare ingredients, including our patent pending fermented arnica. I have seen mixed reviews. People either love this or hate this foundation, so I'm curious about it, and I really wasn't sure which shade to get, and I really wasn't going to get it at first, but when they came out with this Discovery set and then they came out with the concealer, I said, why not? So the Discovery set basically is you get 3 foundations. So I'll show you it. So it's like this, and you get 3 little tiny foundations. It's not a lot. You get 3 shades of the foundation like this, and then they also send you the little color card. So the thing is that you get to pick whether it's fair, light, light medium, 6 different choices, but you don't get to choose the shades inside. So the shades inside are preset. So I'm going to go through those. I'll go through what they are right now. Okay, so the 6 choices are fair, light, light medium, medium, medium deep, and then deep. So we'll start with fair, and fair comes with 050 fair cool, 040 fair neutral, 030 fair cool. Light comes with 175 light neutral, 160 light neutral, and 100 light neutral. Light medium comes with 280 light medium neutral, 210 light medium neutral, 200 light medium neutral. Medium comes with 385 medium neutral, 340 medium cool, and then 325 medium warm. Medium deep comes with 480 medium deep neutral, 460 medium deep warm, and 425 medium deep neutral. And then deep comes with 590 deep neutral, 560 deep neutral, and 530 deep neutral. So as you can see, most of the shades are neutral. There are a few of them that have cool and warm, and they have like a cool, warm, and neutral. I actually like that they're all neutral because I tend to be a neutral shade, but if you are warm and you are a, light, medium, warm, you're gonna get 3 neutral shades. So it may not be the best for you. I tend to go for a neutral shade. I tend to be neutral leaning warm. So I will be able to tell if I need a warm shade or not. But, and then you also have this right here. So this is the other colors in the light medium range. So you can kind of see, I guess, if let's say you get 280 and then you have up to 210. So if you can kind of look at the other ones and see, if you're, it gives you a gauge, I guess. It's not going to necessarily be an exact match. Now, when I did the match, one time it told me 240 and then one time it told me 200. So I don't really know what my match will be. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to test this out and see how which one is the best shade match, and then I'm going to try it and do a little wear test. There is a discovery set FAQs on their website. I did print it up. Like I said, you'll have 21 days to purchase it. If not, they charge you the $12. The shipping and handling wasn't cheap, but you know, for me, to get at least try it is a good, you know, gauge for me, especially to try. I don't like to return foundation, so I'm anxious to do this and see if I even like it, right? Again, I've seen really people love it and people don't love it, so I didn't want to spend $45 and, you know, get the wrong shade. So I think it'd be good or bad, but if you are planning to purchase it, I definitely think it's worth it. If you're unsure, then I would say maybe just go to Sephora and test it, because if you end up not getting it, it's going to cost you almost $20, because this is going to cost you $12, and then you're going to have paid for shipping and handling. I already paid the shipping and handling. I haven't been charged the $12 yet, but if I don't purchase like in like 3 days, I'm going to be charged the $12. So just something to keep in mind. You know, if you really want to buy it and you just want to not sure which shade, I think it's worth it. Okay, so I just put my little spa headband on that I got from Amazon. We're gonna start with shade 200 Neutral, and I am just going to put it on the side of my cheek here. And I actually think that's a pretty good match, to be honest. This was the one that I took today, and it actually said this was a good shade match. So that is 200 Neutral. Okay, so now we're gonna go on with 210 Neutral, and just going to apply it right here. And it does seem to oxidize a little bit, so you definitely wanna let it dry a little bit. This one doesn't seem to, I mean, there's really not much of a huge difference between the two. I'm gonna do swatches on my hand too. But, so that's 200 and 210. Now 280 light medium neutral I know is going to be too dark, because 200 and 210 are almost, you know, very, very good matches. 280, but 280 might be good when I have a little bit of a spray tan. So I am just going to swatch just a little, because I'm going to end up taking it off, but we'll see. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not horrible. And I think if I had like a spray tan, it would probably be, I can probably make this. So I'll definitely use this little bottle up at some point, but it's definitely not my shade. Okay, so I went outside, and I'm really torn between the two. I think I'm gonna lean towards 200 light neutral. That was what the quiz told me, and I think I could go with either one though. 210 is a little lighter. You can kind of see. So here I did some swatches here on my arm. But I did go outside, and this is the video of me outside with the three. So I guess I could go either one. I think 200 and 210 are very, very close. 200 is like a true neutral, and then 210 is like a neutral with light peach undertones. So it's definitely a little warmer. So I probably will play around with both to determine which one is my shade if I like it. 280 is definitely out. Like, it is just way too dark. So I'm gonna take this off, come back so we can apply this. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the 200 light medium neutral, and I'm gonna start with a brush and then on one side and see how it applies it, and then I will go in with a wet damp sponge on the other. So, but it's actually applying really nice with a brush. The brushes, I tend to like a damp sponge lately, but some foundations do apply better with a brush. It just depends. So we'll start with the brush. Okay, so here is half the face with, half the face without, and I do think it's a pretty good match. And then this is the side with the brush, and now I'm gonna go in with the damp sponge on this side. I will say it didn't take a lot of foundation. It actually went on very well, and a little goes a long way with this foundation, which is nice. The little bottles for reference are 0.1 fluid ounce. So I guess that's probably maybe a tenth. I guess a tenth of what a bottle is. I don't know. But yeah, it's small. They're small. It's 3 milliliters. So, but I think it's enough to see if it's to get a good wear out of it. I definitely will get at least 2 or 3 wears out of the foundation so I can really see how it wears. Okay, so here is the side with the damp sponge. I will say not much of a difference. If I had to say, I think I prefer the side with the damp sponge, but that's also my preference of how to apply foundation. But I think the brush went over really, really well. I just think this side just looks a tad bit smoother. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna kind of go and tap it with the damp sponge to kind of smooth it out, even it out, so we can move on to the concealer. Okay, so the foundation is on, and I have to say, I really like it. I am not a big medium coverage foundation girl, but I think it has really good coverage. The only thing is I would say it's very hydrating, at least on my skin. I don't have dry skin, I have combination skin. I feel it's very hydrating. I have not set it yet. So I'm curious to see how it's going to wear and how I'm gonna like it, in a couple hours. But so far, initial coverage, I really like it. I like the way my face looks. I think it looks very skin-like. So I am so far very impressed, but that could change. Now let's move on to the concealer. This is the brand new concealer. It's again the Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating and Depuffing Concealer. I guess it has like caffeine in it to help with puffiness. Now I do have puffiness. It's later in the day, so I'm not gonna have puffiness right now, but I will usually use an eye cream that does that. But if it has it in the concealer, great. Would I pay extra money for a concealer that has caffeine to depuff? Absolutely not. However, I don't think it's going to hurt. So if it does anything to help, especially those early mornings when I'm at Disney, yeah, I'm gonna need it. So again, I wouldn't purchase a product for that, but I think it's good. So I got the shade 12, which is light with rosy undertones, and we'll see here. It's probably a little lighter than I probably should have gotten. I probably should have gotten a little deeper, or maybe one with peach undertones, but that's the beauty of purchasing online. Now the only thing is, they say that this is pretty sturdy, but and it is. I hasn't broken yet. However, putting it back into the container, I always feel like it's going to break. So you have to kind of shove it in. So that's my only dislike of the packaging so far. I love the packaging. I think it's very sleek. So far so good. But this is again 12 Rosy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it and then I'll set my face. So I'm just going to go in ever so lightly. I don't put a lot of concealer. I go very light on the concealer. I'm just going to go on one side, and then I'm going to blend it out with my e.l.f. Camo concealer sponge. Okay, so there it is with the concealer blended out. Again, I do think the shade is a tad too light for me. I can definitely make it work, especially when I start adding in my color corrector. It'll be fine. I'll definitely be able to use it. I don't like to test a concealer with a color corrector because that just doesn't really give a true impression of the product, but it is a little light for me. I should have gotten a deeper shade. Again, that's one of the challenges for when you purchase something online. And I think when this went on sale, it went on sale on the app only. So I wasn't even able to look. Usually, when I'm trying to look at shades, I will look on my desktop so I can get at least a bigger picture. This was on the app, so a little harder, but I picked the shade. It's not awful. It's not awful. I can definitely make it work. Okay, so there it is on both eyes. Now I will say a couple things. This concealer is very, very hydrating, which means that it creases pretty fast. So what I have found is I really have to set this one pretty fast with a powder before, so that it doesn't crease, and that will definitely help it. But keep that in mind if you're someone that doesn't necessarily set and put powder underneath your eyes to set a concealer. This may or may not work for you, because it is very, very hydrating. So I have found that when I don't set it fairly quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my vanity and I'm going to just kind of touch it up and set it to get a true realistic, you know, wear impression, because that's how I would wear my makeup. But that's the only thing. That's one of the tricks to it, is that if you do set it, you have to set it pretty quick, and I would almost set it one eye at a time. It's that fast. But it's just mainly because it's just very, very, very hydrating. Now, as far as like thickness of the concealer, it's not thick. It's I guess it says that it is, it says a clean, lightweight, lawn-wearing concealer, medium buildable coverage. I would say this is medium to almost full coverage concealer. I have that one there, but it's pretty, I won't say thick, but it's a pretty, you know, full coverage concealer. It is not, I won't say it's not lightweight, but it's not lightweight. Like I think of the Charlotte Tilbury, the one that's pretty sheer or very, you know, not watery, but this one's thick, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but I would say it's medium to almost full coverage, but it's not like Shape Tape thick. Like that's not what it's like. So it's somewhere in between, but it's also not a very sheer lightweight concealer. The lightweight part, I would disagree with that. I think it is definitely medium to full coverage. Good coverage, hydrating coverage, but definitely, you know, thicker, you know, than a true lightweight concealer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up most of the rest of my makeup. I am filming another video later after this, so I'm gonna do most everything except for my eyes or my eyeshadow, but I'm gonna go do that and then come back and just give you my first impressions, and then we'll do a recap at the end just to kind of give a wear test. Okay, so I am back. I have set the makeup. I just put a little bronzer and blush on and then set it with a little bit of under eye powder, and as well as I did some powder over the foundation. I don't do a lot. So far I really like it. I'm not sure. The foundation might be a little too hydrating for me. I like more of a matte, just because I live in a very humid climate. So I'm not sure how I feel it. It's definitely not lightweight where I don't feel it. I definitely feel it, but not in a bad way either. So, but I like the way it looks too. So I just don't know how it's going to look in a couple hours. But anyway, so that's going to be this portion. I may or may not come back once I have full makeup, like after I film a little bit and have more makeup on, just kind of give a recap or touch base, and then I will come back in a couple hours to kind of give a wear test on how it wore throughout today. Okay, I'm back for a quick check-in. It has been about 2 hours since I first started applying, since I first applied the foundation and the concealer. So far the concealer I like so far, and I've used the concealer before, and I think it's very consistent. The key is you have to set it pretty fast, but once you do that, it's my experience so far has been good. We'll see how the end of the day is. However, this is my first time using the foundation, and it's really shiny. I did powder it down, and it's pretty early for the shine to be coming through. And at 47, all that is showing my texture, the pores and everything. And it's also a preference. I like more of a matte finish. So I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna do a few things and come back and do a final check-in. But I like the way the foundation looks, but I'm already starting to get shine that 2 hours in, I'm hesitant to what it might look like, in another 2 hours. Okay, so I am back. It has been about almost 7 hours since I first put on the foundation. And well, let's first start with the concealer. The concealer I really like. The concealer is really good. I think it's, for me, it's a solid 8, maybe 9 out of 10. You have to really set it really quickly, but once it creases, it really kind of, it doesn't really budge after that. I don't really have a lot more creasing. It's a little thicker than what I prefer, so I think I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury. However, it gives really good coverage and it doesn't really crease once you set it. You just have to set it, at least for me. And I think there's a trick. I did, the first time I tried it, I absolutely hated it because I tend to put some, oil, like facial oil under my eyes, like a priming oil, and that did not work. That just did not work. So I didn't do that since, and I've just been doing like regular like moisturizer, and it works great. So I think it's a solid 8, maybe even 9. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to continue to use it. I can definitely make the shade work. I probably need a different shade. I think 14 is light but with a peach undertone. I think that might be better for me, but I think this one can work and I like it. Foundation. So the foundation, the only thing with the foundation is it's a little more glowy than I like. I like the way my skin looks. I think it looks really pretty. Now this is the first time I'm wearing it, so it's a first impression, but I have seen like the oil started to break through, but they kind of like stopped. So I'm going to play around with it and try it with maybe some different primers to see if I can get it to a point. I like the way it makes my face look. The only thing I don't like is like the oils breaking through and getting that shine 2 hours in, because I'm getting it 2 hours in. In 10 hours, it's going to be a lot. Now I'm almost 7 hours in, and the shine is just a little bit more than it was 2 hours in. So that's good. Like, it didn't continually to break through, and it really hasn't broken apart, but it does show some texture around here because of, the luminosity. However, it does have a nice like skin-like finish. My husband just saw me and he goes, "Are you wearing a new foundation? I like it." And he never comments on my foundation, so I thought that was funny and kind of odd. So he actually commented on how my face looked, so that's a positive, right? But I prefer a more matte finish, so I'm definitely going to play around with it. Right now, I think I have to purchase the full size of the foundation before, like in 3 days, to not get charged the $12. I'm not going to be doing that. To save $12, to spend $45 just absolutely makes no sense. So I might still eventually get the foundation, but not now. And I'm also not sure about the shade. It seemed to oxidize on me a little, so I want to try the 210. The 210 was actually a little lighter, so I might try the 210 and see. And then maybe I need to even go lighter. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to play around with it a little bit more and see how I like it. But I do think this is a great idea. I wish more brands would do this. I think this is fantastic. I think it's not only do you get to get a shade match, but you also get to see if you like the foundation. So I think that's fantastic. So if you're interested, I do think this is a good idea. Just know that you're probably going to pay a little bit more up front, but you're going to know, 1, if you like the foundation, and then 2, get the right shade. So, but with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.